presence of Mr. Deogracias Custodio, Chair and Administrator of the Authority of the Freeport Area of Bataan. Is that the way it's known? Authority of the Freeport
Yes, Mr.
Area
Chairman.
of Bataan.
The AFAB.
Mr. Patrick Lester T. and Mr. Emmanuel Pineda. And from the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, Mr. Jose Maria Ponce, Mr. Nilo Aldeguer, and Mr. Geoffrey Cabalza. From Zamboanga, Mr. Christopher Arnuco, Chair and Administrator, and Mr. Jose Adonis Barrios. All right. Where's the budget? 1 minute, please. All right, who wants to go first? Yeah, Bataan. Mr.
Okay,
Custodio.
good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chairman. We'll just, I don't think there's a need to go through the initial slides. It just says that our goal in the agency under the Aquino Social Contract is to contribute to the rapid, inclusive, and sustained economic growth. And our agency outcome is for businesses located and operating within the Freeport to increase. So we have a slide showing the agency accomplishments and our projects for the year 2014. So the projects totaled 205.2 million pesos. So of that total, funded by the GAA was 96.8 million, and 108.4 million was funded through internally generated funds. So among those projects are the industrial and office buildings, operational investments, land development and facilities improvement, housing improvement, transport infrastructure, utilities improvement.
You're giving us the uses of funds. Do you have a page that shows the sources of funds?
That's in the bottom, Mr. Chairman. GAA funded is 96.8 million. Then internal funds.
See, you're talking. I don't see any 96.8 at the bottom.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. So your internal funds, 108 million. Is that your gross income, equivalent to your gross income?
No, it was taken from a larger amount.
Where is your gross income statement? Where is your profit and loss statement?
Okay. Okay, slide 15. So what I showed you earlier, Mr. Chairman, is from the year 2014.
What page is that? 15? Anong page? Okay, I have it. So, essentially, your total revenues are 790 million. Were 790 million for the year 2014.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. And it seems that 80% of that it comes from utilities.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. Principally from power.
But yet you're spending most of your money on the operations of Bataan. That's not a very impressive financial report. I mean, we can close you down and just let you operate as a utility, and you'll probably make more money.
But again, Mr. Chairman, our mandate is to create economic opportunities and bring in investments to therefore create more jobs for the people.
All right, so prove it. How much more investments did you bring in?
Can we go to the slide on investments?
Just give me the page.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Page 53 in the materials with you. And in that slide, Mr. Chairman, you'll see that from the year 2012, wherein we had 64 registered enterprises, it's grown to 68 in 2013, 86 in 2014, and 97 as of July 2015.
Yeah, but I want to know year by year what's the additional FDI, the direct investments, foreign direct investments, domestic direct investments.
Okay, so in the year 2014, approved investments were in the amount of 85 billion pesos.
Would you like to point out what page?
Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, we don't have a slide showing the approved investments.
Why not? In order to show the committee that you're making progress, you have to show how much more, who are they, how much was invested on a year-by-year basis.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize, Mr. Chairman. We do not have a slide showing that. So aside from the Mr. Chairman, we also have indicators, at least this is reflected in the presentation, of the amount of increase in the employment inside the Freeport, which also would tie in the increase of investments. So in slide 54, you can see that with the increase of locators from 14,300 workers in the year 2012, it has increased to 23,333 as of July 2015.
You know, there's two things I want to point out to you. We're here to make sure that the investments that the people of the Philippines make in your particular enterprise is paying off. So we have to set ratios, targets. I mean, if I invest 100 pesos and I'll get 2 pesos in return, shut you down. All right? Now, of course, you're going to try to show me the pretty numbers. You show me the big numbers. If the big is not good enough, you show me the small number. But I know a little bit more than that. So you come back to the next hearing, and I want to break down year by year, name of company, investments, appointing. Not just the number of workers, for goodness sake. Investments, employees in that particular enterprise, year invested, etc.
Mr. Chairman, again, it's not in the slides that we have prepared, but we have information right now. We can hand it to you.
No, I don't want it partial, all right? This is, just come back. We'll let you know subsequent hearing what we have a hearing on sometime next week. And make sure you have everything that we want to see. Like, for example, also the amount of exports generated by those particular companies. So, you go company by company. Ang pumasok ko ngayon, Hanjin, hired 2,000 people. Hanjin invested $150 million over 3 years. Hanjin is generating total revenues of so much, etc.
Mr. Chairman, we have that for 2014, the new locators, the name of the company, the business activity, the amount of investment, and the number of
Excuse me
employees.
lang, don't flash it on the wall because I can hardly read that. Tell me the page.
Page 55.
55.
We'll provide you a copy.
Yeah, okay. With that new locators, I'd like to see 2 or 3 more columns. One column that gives their total revenues. Another column that gives exports. So I want to see the ratio of export to their total revenues. And the year they were established. Of course, this one at the top says 2015, but give me a full list of all your current locators there so that I will not judge you by your utilities revenue. Wala yan. That's nothing to me in my equation. I will judge you by the other revenues because that's where we're spending the money. How much did you spend on your utilities this year? You have revenues of 611 million. Where's your income statement just for the utilities alone? Income and expense statement. Profit and loss statement just for the utilities.
Mr. Chairman, it's on slide 16.
Slide 16. Huh? Not on slide 16. That's your balance sheet.
The other.
No, you look at that. This is slide 55, 56, 57.
Slide 16.
16. All right. Would you give me the details on this, please? Tell me who your off-takers are for power, your average price on a per kilowatt hour basis. What was your total production in gigawatt hours per year? Total.
Mr. Chairman, we have the average unbundled charges at the bottom right side.
You charge for transmission or you pay?
We pay, sir.
You pay
We pay to the
NGCP.
NGCP, sir.
So
Mr. Chairman, we would like to
if you
point.
pay to NGCP, where does your income come from? What
It's
is
from
off-
the, sir, it's from the distribution charge because we function as the distribution utility.
You don't have any generation there.
No, sir. We are buying from GN Power.
GN.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Mr.
when you
Chairman.
buy from GN is inside Bataan or outside?
It's within the proclaimed area of the
If
Freeport.
GN is inside, why are you paying transmission fee?
Actually, sir, it's because of the provisions, the technical provisions of the EPIRA law. We were actually applying for an embedded generation.
You are an embedded plant. Yeah.
It was decided otherwise, Mr. Chairman, because of the
Who's
ERC, sir, Mr.
ERC
Chairman.
decided that?
Yes, because there's a requirement based on the one of the issuances of ERC showing the technical requirements to qualify as embedded generation, Mr. Chairman.
I still think that's not fair. If the plant is within your area already, may
We,
distribution lines naman kayo, no? So ikabit na lang sa distribution line. Hindi naman ninyo ginagamit yung transmission.
yes, Mr. Chairman. But actually, the transmission comes in as a part of the loop for redundancy. But technically, the power comes directly from GN Power, goes to our substation.
Yeah.
We actually,
Why would they I can't understand that. That's 1 peso, ah. You pay GN Power 4 pesos and 47 centavos.
yes, Mr. Chairman, that's the average.
You don't have a long-term.
It's
You
a,
have a long-term
it's a
contract with-
12-year contract, Mr. Chairman.
Do you know what the latest pricing is for coal? Coal naman ang GN Power eh.
It is, Mr.
600
Chairman.
megawatts, no?
Yes. As of July, Mr. Chairman, we're averaging 399 for generation. 399.
Yeah. The latest contract is 330. That's with the new Limay plant of San Miguel. So, 47 is a bit high.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just point out that the San Miguel as well as Gen Power are using a two-tiered charging scheme wherein their pricing for generation varies indirectly proportional to your efficiency of use. Meaning to say, if you use entirely what you have reserved, you get a lower generation charge, capacity fee.
They're charging you fees for capacity or capacity fees.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And how much of that do you use? When of your contracted power, how much have you been able to consume?
We have a load profile average of around 75 to 80%.
Ayaw nila nun?
So it's the pricing is actually the lowest for GN Power is around 340.
Yun.
So it's at 100%. So since we're the charging is based on efficiency of use, we are at around 75% average.
75% is pretty good. So why are you averaging 447? If I were an off-taker, my capacity is, I'm using 75%.
One explanation, Mr. Chairman, is this is not really entirely the average cost for GN Power. As this is the blended average because we have to buy from the WESM during peak hours. That's why it pulls up the average cost.
20% during your peak hours. Your peak hours would be what, 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock?
Around 11 to 3 in the afternoon.
Okay, 11 to 3. How much
And
of
it
your
goes
power?
back, Chairman, it goes back, the peak in excess, it goes back at around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
How much of your power, your total consumption, would come during the peak hours? And how much of that consumption during the peak hours do you obtain from WSM?
I don't have the exact figures, but roughly, Mr. Chairman, average is on a monthly average of around 5 to 10%.
Hindi naman masama yun.
Yes.
Bakit masyado mataas? Hindi ko pa rin maintindihan yung 447 eh.
Yeah, I already. Because during peak hours, Mr. Chairman, there's the highest. We are able to. When we source from the WSM, normally the prices are high because it's at peak hours, so it pulls up the average rate.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to point out slide 18, which is the latest. It's the income statement as of July 31. The generation charge average is already at 3.9. That's where the decrease in the cost of the generation charge is reflected.
Yung 399?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
It reflects the average is decreasing as we approach the rainy season, Mr. Chairman. Because during May, it's one of the highest. We have one of the highest peaks during the month of May, during summer. And we buy at a higher percentage from the WSM.
So yung page 16 ninyo,
It's for May,
it's just for May.
year to date for May.
So could you correct this at the top? Don't say as of May 31. For the period May 1 to 31 dapat. Because this seems to me like a 5-month.
It is, Mr. Chairman. It is for a 5-month period, but
So this is for
January to May.
To May.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So mataas yung 447.
It's because the average for April and May are relatively high for the entire
Alright.
year.
But it must have dropped drastically because your average now, and correct me if I'm wrong, on page 18, as of July 31, that means for the period January 1 to July 31.
Yes.
So adding 2 more months, and you brought down your average to 399.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
If that's your average, what was your generation charge just for July? Because ang nakasulat dito, 412. No, I'm sorry, that's 2014. What was your generation charge just for July? Bumababa yan sa 350 or 340? Kasi 399, if you use this as an average over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months versus 447 average for 5 months, that's a very big drop if you...
Chairman will have it computed.
July lang. I'm curious to know what your average generation charge was for July. check with the newspapers today, the financial page, what's the various interest rates for 1 year T-bills, 5-year bonds, 10-year, 20-year bonds, Philippine government. Yes, found it? These Mitsumi Philippines, do they make gloves? What do they make?
No, they're electronic equipment for gaming consoles, tablets, and car radios, Mr. Chairman. They have a bigger facility in Cebu, actually.
What?
In Cebu.
Yeah, there is
Danao.
now.
That's right.
But Japanese ito, no?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we'll get back to you. You figure that all out. Let's go to Cagayan. Cagayan, do you have a presentation? Did you send it to me? Cagayan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Allow me to present the CESA's budget proposal for calendar year 2016. The first transparency, this first slide, present to you our budget proposal for calendar year 2006 compared to the 2015 approved budget proposal. The total proposed budget for 2016 is 163,244,003.
I want to see 2000. Wait, capital investment. Your budget proposal, which appears on. Why don't you paginate your? Why don't you put page numbers on your presentation? It will be difficult for us to go back and forth.
I'm sorry, Chairman, that's what I was saying, my stuff, because I was looking at my own presentation. The pagination is not, sorry for that, Mr. Chairman.
All right, on your second page, I'd like to see 2000, beside 2001, 2001, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. So I will see the progress. Not just this year and then propose next year. That's your budget proposal, no?
Yes,
so how much did you get for during the earlier years?
We have that presentation.
May I have that, please?
We have concentrated on the previous submission we have is what we can submit that year. We focus on the 2013, 14, and 15 right now, but the presentation. So we can present that, we can provide that later on. But for comparison for this year and our proposal for 2016, if you allow me, Mr. Chairman, to present our budget requests. Our budget, proposed budget for 2016 is almost the same with our 2015 approved budget. There is a decrease actually of 0.09%.
Yeah.
And
What page are you on?
I'm still in page 1, Your Honor, if you don't mind. You're using another doc. This one, yeah. Second page, Your Honor. It's what's the first page, though? It's the second page, Your Honor. It's the budget proposal for calendar year 2016.
Why don't we do it this way, huh? You come back again. Present your budget to the committee as if it were an annual report. So, what is your balance sheet should be the first page,
Okay.
okay?
We have it in the...
And then your
yeah.
income statement,
Okay.
then your statement of cash flow.
Okay.
Ganun. So that I don't jump around. That's normally how anybody would look at the financials of any corporation. The big picture and then the details.
Yeah. We have it in the last page, Your Honor. The financial statements are in the last page of our
Yeah, that's not-
presentation.
It should not be the last
Yeah.
page. It should be the first page. The balance sheet should be the first
Okay.
page. Then the profit and loss statement or the income statement. Then the cash flow.
Okay, Your Honor.
Statement of changes in...
For how many years, Your Honor, if you...
I
For the
would
2
like
years
to hear
comparison.
to see 5 years.
5 years?
1 year doesn't give us a good picture.
5 years.
A 5-year gives us better.
It's okay, 5-year period.
I will not saddle you with 10 years, but that's in your kuwan naman, no? So we will reschedule. Zamboanga, do you have a presentation?
Yes, Your Honor. Zamboanga? Okay. Where? Well, Your Honor, for Zamboanga City, the flow of our presentation, we wish first to highlight the accomplishments of the authority, of course, the revenue generated within the period of
Do I have a copy of that?
Yes, sir. They're saying.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. First, the local taxes paid by our locators to the LG of Zamboanga, export data on their sources of raw materials, our agency budget, as well as the infra projects for 2016.
All right. You see why it's very confusing, because all of you give me a differing order and how you present it. You heard me. I requested our other resource persons here today to come up with your presentation. On the first page, I want to see already the balance sheet.
All right.
I don't want to dig. So that's your page 1. Then your income statement. Then your statement of changes in cash flow statement. Di ba? Then a list, a year by year column list of income expenses. So that's year by year. Then list of new investments on a year by year basis. Aside from the number of investors, I want to see the total, yung total, tawag po natin dito, direct investments, long-term investments. Then, we want to see how many employees, what was the employment generated. All right? if you can do that, it'll be easier. We can move faster because that's all I really look at first. No. Are we spending good money or are we throwing good money after bad? That's always my concern. No. If you're generating it, oh, good. And then even when you're already out of ICU, like Cagayan, we still want to monitor because how much have been spent in Cagayan already by the national government? 5-6 billion? 10? Huh?
Yeah.
5.7 billion. And how much in dividends did you?
Last year, the total is
8.41 dividends. Last year's the biggest, 200 million, Your Honor.
No, see, you're totaling the dividends. I don't total the dividends. How much did you give us just for 2014 alone?
200 billion. Yeah.
200. So that's a return of how much? 6%. No, less. 4% a year. If you take the modified internal rate of return, maliit na. Yeah.
Consider the dividends,
Yeah.
Your Honor. But other incomes like income tax payments, Your Honor.
Well, that's not dividends. That's a normal cost of doing business.
Yeah. Oh, well, these are income generated from the economic zone, Your Honor. The total income, the gross income that we generate, and
Hindi ba nagbabayad ng income tax yung mga locators ninyo dun eh?
nagbabayad, kami nagbabayad, sir, yung income.
5%? What?
No, 30%.
Huh?
30% ang CESA po. We're not
That's
exempted.
CESA.
Yes,
But your locators,
5%.
5, no?
5%.
Yeah. Kakunti lang eh. Do you have a record also of the gross income of your locators? Because they have to pay the 5%, so
We have that.
they have to declare anong total sales nila. Is there a BIR office up in Cagayan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Actually, Your Honor, we're the number one taxpayer, my locators and CESA.
Ano?
We're the number one taxpayer in the region, my locators and CESA. We've been awarded as the number one taxpayer in Region 2.
Good. Eh talaga naman walang industriya dun eh. Okay, so why don't we suspend? We'll set up another date and hopefully we can go faster because it's kind of confusing the way it is. Okay? Thank you very much for coming, and this hearing is suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Put this all together in this box. I have to go through it.